Welcome to Color Up. Today I'm going to talk about some facts about the game of craps that you might not be aware of. Now, some are unusual and some are tips that you might want to start using while you play. Let's check it out. You've had a few drinks, you've been playing for a couple hours, and the table has been, up and down, back and forth. So you still have most of your bankroll left and it's here in the rack. You need to go use the restroom, but the table is full and you don't want to lose your spot. Well, what do? Well, if you let the dealers know you will need to take a quick break, whether it's the restroom or a smoke break or whatever, they should provide you with a towel to place over your chips. Now, the dealer has an eye on it, the cameras up in the sky have an eye on it, and it would be almost impossible for someone to lift this up and steal some of your chips. Your chips are safe. Place bets and come bets are either placed inside or around these boxes according to where you are positioned around the table. Now, come bets are contract bets and they are always on and they're always working. But if you add any odds to those bets or you make any place bets, those bets always follow the game puck. So the bets are either off or on depending on what the puck says. If the puck is off, all these place bets and the come bet odds are off or they're not working, which means they will not lose, but also they will not win. They are off. When the puck is on, that means all of our bets are on. Now you can override the default puck by just asking the dealers. So if you get a weird feeling that the next roll is a 7 and that you're going to lose your bets, simply ask your dealer to turn your bets off for the next roll. He or she will place a little marker on your bets to indicate whether they are on or off. So if you have that funny feeling that the 7's coming, go ahead and turn your bets off. They might use one marker to indicate all your bets are off, or let's say you only want the 5 and 8 off, you can turn just those off. However you like to do it. Or, all 3 of these bets off. Again, ask your dealer. The same with the come bet odds. So you can't turn off the come bet, but you can turn the odds off on the 6 and 9, or maybe all of them. Same thing, if the puck is off, by default, again, all these bets are off. If you want them to work, just ask the dealer. He'll turn them on for you. And you turn on your odds. This also applies to the hard way bets. You could turn them off or on. The prop bets, the field bet, those are one roll bets. There's really no reason to turn them off or on. If you bet them, they're on. If you don't bet them, they're off. Before we dive into some more of the advanced stuff, let's do a simple one. The C and E bet. What is that? Well, the C stands for any craps. It's a bet on the 2, 3, or 12 for the next roll. The stick person could book the bet there or there. It's the same thing, same bet. Now, they are very popular bets, so that's why you'll usually see a spot for every player. Now, you could probably guess that the E stands for 11. So again, the dealer could book your bet there or here in the 11. So you probably haven't heard the word 11 at the craps table. And that's because it rhymes too closely with 7. 7, 11, 7, 11. So to avoid any confusion, dealers will call out yo 11 or just yo. So if you want to make a bet on the 11, give me $1 yo. I get this question a lot on YouTube. Can I make a place bet on the point? Let's say a player has some place bets up and the shooter comes out on a new point. Let's say that the point is 5. Now, most players will already have the 5 bet because they have it bet via the pass line. So a lot of dealers will just ask the players, hey, where would you like to move this bet? Now, players assume that this means that they can't just leave the bet there or they can't place the point. You absolutely can. If the dealer asks, just tell him to keep it where it's at. Now, if you have a pass line bet, then your best option is to have the dealer return it to you and then you place it as an odds bet. Or you can just have the dealer move it over and cover a different number, so maybe something that you haven't bet on. So we'll move it over here to the 4. Let's say you didn't make a pass line bet and the point is now a 9. Now you could make a place bet on the 9 by simply placing your bet in the come and asking the dealer to place your 9, so he would move it up into position. Now here's something that many players do not know. You can place the point yourself. You place bet the point by putting your money right on the line between the pass line and where the odds go. Now don't set your chips on the pass line because that bet will only get paid 1-to-1. You actually set it on the line and then you'll want to heel off your bet. Let's go ahead and make it a $20 bet here on the line, and then we'll have another player set up with a $10 line bet, and then maybe he added $10 in odds. Now if the point of 9 is rolled, our player here will get paid 3 for every 2, that's the payoff for the odds, and 1-to-1 or $10 in odds. A $25 total win. Now your place bet of $20 will get paid just as if it's up here, which is 7-to-5. So your $20 place bet will get paid 28. The pass line and the come are contract bets. This means that once your bet is made, you cannot lower or remove the bets. The main benefit of these contract bets is the big advantage the player has on the come out roll where the 7 works in your favor. Now once the point is set, the 7 is now working against you and the casino now has the advantage. So this is why they will not let you reduce or remove your bets. Now the opposite is true of the don't pass and the don't come. You are allowed to remove them at any time and the casino will gladly allow it. But check out this video on why you should never do this. Okay, but can I increase my pass line bet and add odds if the point is, let's say, a number I like? The answer is yes. Now technically this is called a put bet. It's not a good idea because you're missing the advantageous come out roll and a place bet will pay more unless you add enough in the odds bet. I have heard that some casinos won't allow a put bet, but I believe most will, and it would be silly of them not to. Let's say you make a $5 pass line bet and then the point becomes a 9. On most tables, you can add up to a maximum of 4 times odds. So in this case, it would be $20 behind your line bet. Now maybe 9 is your lucky number, so you want to increase the amount that you've bet, but you're at the table maximum for the odds. So you can simply add $5 to the line bet, which allows you to add an additional, there we go, $20 in odds behind your bet. You've just made a put bet. The point is 9, you have $10 line bet with $40 in odds, a total of $50. You'd win $60 for your odds and $10 for your line bet, or a $70 total win. If you made an equivalent place bet, that would also win, guess what? Oops, there we go, $50, $60, $70. If you are going to make any put bets, you should be maxing your odds out and on a table that allows 5 times, 10 times, or even higher in odds. Otherwise, if you didn't bet to win on the come out roll with a line bet, then just stick with a place bet as they will pay better. So we've established that put bets don't make sense unless you're on at least a 5 times max odds table. The trick, well, most casinos only allow for 3, 4, 5 times odds. This means that you can bet 3 times the amount you bet on the pass line for the 4 and 10. You can bet 4 times your pass line bet on the 5 and 9 and 5 times on the 6 and 8. This is pretty easy math. Let's say you have a $10 pass line bet and the point is a 4 or 10, it doesn't really matter. You can add 3 times as much. That's a simple $30, right? 3 times this $10 bet is $30. If the point is 9, you can add 4 times your line bet of $10, which would be $40 in odds. And then if the point is 6 or 8, you can go 5 times the amount of your line bet. So in this case, we could bet $50 in odds behind our $10 pass line. Okay, so what's the payout? How do you know if the dealers are paying you correctly? Well, if you bet the maximum odds on a 3, 4, 5 times table, the payoff, and here's the trick, is always going to be 7 times the amount of your line bet. So if you max out your odds, then your $10 bet is always going to pay $70. Here for the 6, it's actually $60 for the odds and $10 for the flat. If the point's 4 or 10, we would only be allowed to have a $30 bet. If we won, it's 7 times that flat bet of 10, or 30 would win 60 in the back, and 10 in front, 7 times our flat bet. So a little shortcut there. Now, if you're a don't player, maybe you have a hard time figuring out how much you're allowed to lay in odds. Again, on a 3, 4, 5 times table, it's very simple. The maximum amount that you can lay is always going to be 6 times your line bet. So what can I lay on the 5? Well, it's going to be 6 times, or $60. That $60 bet is going to win $40 on the 5 and the 9. Let's say it's the 4. How much can we bet? We can bet 6 times the amount. So $60 would win back 30. On the 6 or 8, $60 bet is going to win back 50 in odds. Now this only applies on a 3, 4, 5 times max odds table. The pass line payout is always going to be 7 times your line bet, and the amount that you can take in lay odds is going to be 6 times your line bet. Not many players are don't players, and even less actually lay odds. But if you want to know how to, then I'm going to show you. Laying odds means you lay out more to win back less because you are the favorite to win the bet. Now the setup for this bet is much different than a line bet where you'd place the odds behind the line. With the don't pass bet, you're going to place your odds next to your flat line bet, and you're going to do it away from the stickman. The stickman's over here in the middle, so you'll do it away. So wherever you're positioned, if you're over here, you'll put it away from the stickman and closer to the dealer. Now you really should know your odds payouts, which I cover in other videos, but if your odds payout is going to be the same as your line bet, then you will bridge your odds. Here we have a $10 line bet and $15 in odds. We would win back $10 for our odds and $10 for our line bet. Because they're the same, we would bridge our bet. And it's really like just a little bridge here. Now let's say you have $30 in odds. That's going to pay you back 20. Anytime, let's see, so that would be an unequal amount. So this would win 20 and this would win 10. Those are unequal amounts. So in that case, you wouldn't bridge it. You would set it off to the side and heel off your bet. And that simply means to put the bottom chip down and then you kind of rest the rest of the chips. You heel them off on top there. Again, the odds go away from the stickman and closer to the dealer. Now don't stress too much over this. If you're in doubt, just heel your odds bet. The dealer will fix it if they really want to. Okay, 7 facts you might not have known about the game of craps, but I can't end on a 7, right? Well, how about a bonus? Here's a fun fact for you. The longest roll recorded in craps, Patricia DeMora, a grandmother from New Jersey, on the second time she was ever playing the game. Her roll lasted 154 rolls, 154. So that lasted over 4 hours and 18 minutes. Now this record roll was at the Borgata Casino in Atlantic City back in 2009. Wow, I hope you found this video informative and fun. Until next time, good luck on coloring up.